Let me now show you some examples of fill and align parameters in Python environment. Here is the exact example that we had in the slide. When I run it, as you can see, the output is exactly the way it was shown in a slide. Let's try a few things. First of all, if I change the caret to a greater than sign, that basically what I'm asking Python to do is rather than centering the value in the field, I am asking it to right justify. When I run it, you see the value of cat is right justified and the rest of the field is going to be filled up with a hash sign. If instead of s in the type specifier, if I wanted to print a number, let's say I'm going to work on a integer, and here let's say I'm going to work on a floating point number. So my s is an integer, whatever it might be, let's say 1, 2, 3, and my p would be a floating point number, let's say 23 point some numbers. Now let's print the values. Notice that integer is left aligned and the rest of it is filled with asterisks, and the floating point number is right aligned and the rest of it is filled up with hash sign. What if my integer was larger than the field that I specified? Let's say I had an integer which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means I have a 9-digit integer, but I'm asking Python to put it in a field of 6 characters. As you know, the 6 actually is the minimum. So what Python does in this case, of course, it's going to put all the 9 of the characters in there. And since there is no space left, then the field character is ignored. So if my number was negative, it will print the negative sign in here. Now I can also center my numbers if I want to. Let's say I'm going to center my floating point number and put it in a field of 15 characters. And then when I run it, this is what you will see. This is my floating point number with 3 digits of accuracy, and the rest of the field are filled up with hash signs. Something else that you can also do is print the same number with 2 different formats, because now you are in control of the position. I'm going to print this floating point number with 2 different formats. One of them is centered with this format of 15.3f, and let's say one of them I wanted to left align it with the format of 6.4f. Now if I print my values, you see that the first number is printed with 4 digits after the decimal point, and the other one has 3 digits after the decimal point. Also notice Python automatically rounds the number to the closest value. So in this case, you notice that the real number is 9876543, but when you specified the precision of 4 and Python printed it with 4 digits after the decimal point, the last number rather than 6 is a 7, because Python rounds it to the closest digit. Here is a table of align symbols in format method. As I mentioned before, the most important ones are the less than sign, which stands for left align, then is greater than sign, which stands for right align, and the caret, which stands for